I still don't trust her. Her bubbly personality makes me worry. Hey everyone, welcome to Princely Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Season 2, Episode 5 of Lucifer. So, I'll have talked about this in a separate video. I've made a separate video about this, but starting next week, Lucifer is going to be on Wednesdays. Basically, putting it simple, is that I'm switching Lucifer's slot with Dan slot. So Dan will be on Thursdays, Lucifer will be on Wednesdays, starting next week. But Dan is already starting on Thursdays this week, so just to clear up the confusion surrounding that. Dan is starting in its new slot right away, but I'm not going to skip over having this today and just not having Lucifer this week. So we're going to have this still today, but next week Lucifer starts on Wednesdays instead. Got it? Okay. So last time we kind of had our main characters split off into the girls group and the guys group, and shenanigans ensued. Some drunk, some surprisingly not. And I'm very curious to see how these friendships and whatnot continue to grow. Especially given, the issues that can rise between them. We'll continue to see how things go in terms of the main story and everything. But honestly, I kind of just want to get right into this. There's not really a lot I want to talk about going in. So we're just going to get into this episode, see what it has in store for us, and hope for the best. Let's get going. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. We have Baldur's Gate 3 every single day, Horizon Forbidden West every Monday and Friday, Tuesdays and Thursdays are Life is Strange Double Exposure, Wednesdays and Sundays are Beyond Two Souls, and Saturdays is Nier Automata. And don't forget to click the link in the description to follow it to today's reaction. I redirect everything just due to copyright. Also, please subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want to see more awesome content such as this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's begin today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Something big is coming. The fact that you introduce and kill off Uriel in the same episode in such a traumatic way, and with everything that it means, everything that this sets up, everything that this builds off of already, this this doesn't imply, it pretty much guarantees that this is a precursor to something big. This is I barely know what to say here, because there's one side of me that almost wants to say it feels cheap or, pretty sad that Uriel is killed off in the same episode he's introduced. But again, there's the other side of me that knows that that means something big, that means that something is going to happen. Whether it involves God coming himself, whether it involves other angels coming and teaming up against Lucifer and his mom and Amenadiel and Maze and all of them. shit's going down in a way like I feel like never before. Like, at the very least, at the absolute very least, I expect we're going to see Michael. I just feel like this could be set up for Michael, the Archangel. I think that that could be where it might be going. And again, that's at the least, because there's a bunch of other angels that we haven't even seen yet. Azrael was mentioned in this one, with the blade and everything. Which, by the way, I guess Lucifer just has this blade now, that's terrifying. And there's just so many implications with this, and I'm glad that his mother didn't like get angry with him for doing what he did once she realized, but she actually comforted him because she saw that he was going through like an insane amount of pain and sorrow, that he was really fucked up over it. She knew that it's like no amount of yelling, no amount of anger would be right in this situation because he was already punishing himself enough. And she could also, I'm sure, tell that he didn't want to do it, that he did it like out of desperation. I'm and this is what I wanted too. I've mentioned that like I think a couple episodes now, that I've been wanting to see the supernatural stuff, the angelic stuff come into play more. I've been wanting to see more of that, and let's be honest, less of the case of the week bullshit. That, let's be honest, ends up being a very samey a lot of the time. But even that aspect of this episode was really good, and not just because of Phil LaMarr and Mark Dacascos being in it. Um, though both of them did a great job for their roles. Like I said, I don't think I've seen any of Mark Dacascos's work outside of him playing the chairman in Iron Chef America. Um, I know him for that, and it's obviously very different. Like, he speaks with like a bit of an exaggerated accent with that and everything. Not his regular voice, which I assume is what we heard in this. And I knew he did other acting, and I know he does like martial arts and stuff. I just, like I said, I don't think I've seen any of it before, and he was pretty good in this. He was very believable. I felt like he did a good job. Phil LaMarr did great. The woman who played the wife did a great job. And of course, Chloe's actress did phenomenal. Like this, I think this was her best performance, specifically when she's talking down Mark Dacascos' character. Like, the amount of emotion in her voice, you can hear her voice quiver at a couple of points while she's talking to him, especially when she mentions like wanting to go home and, be with her daughter and everything. It's like you can it's such a believable performance. And I mean, it's followed up later on in the episode with, of course, Tom Ellis's performance, with his trauma and pain and everything. But we already knew Tom Ellis could do shit like this. Like, we've seen his amazing acting skills in this series already. Chloe's actress, I can't remember her name, sorry about that, but like, we haven't seen her on this level yet. So I'm really excited about that too. But the case itself was like, it's kind of like something that almost appeals to me. um, like big action movie hype and everything, and kind of like the behind the scenes bullshit that is surrounding that. And again, like, you have two great actors who I don't think I've seen in live action who did a great job in this. I know both of them for other things, and it's just with that, with the general plot of the case of the week, and even with how easily it was solved, it almost felt like it was kind of swept under the rug to make room for the more angelic, supernatural side of the plot here, which is very interesting. Because usually the case of the week almost feels like the A plot in the episodes. But here, it was actively the B plot. It was pretty much there just to have a case. And most of it centered around Uriel utilizing it by doing his little manipulations to target Chloe. So it felt less important than ever, but it was also more interesting and entertaining than these usually are. Because they didn't like overblow it, I feel is the best way to put it. It wasn't overblown, it didn't overstay its welcome. It was a tool to be utilized to serve the bigger narrative, which I feel is a better way to do these kind of case of the week, monster of the week, etc., plot points. Utilizing them to serve a bigger narrative doesn't necessarily make those plot points feel lesser. It enhances everything else. And that's how I want to see that kind of thing being used. This is one of the best episodes of this show so far. Because of all of this. Because of the stuff, how they utilized the case of the week. Because of all the supernatural stuff that was exceptionally interesting. By the way, the actor who played Uriel did a great job as well. I want to mention that real quick because I haven't yet. He did a fantastic job. I don't think I recognize him from anything. He doesn't seem familiar to me. But I mean, it's possible I might have seen him in something. But yeah, it's so almost shocking to me how good this was and how much this was just an episode that felt catered to me. Catered to what I want out of this show in pretty much every way. The phenomenal acting, the great storytelling, the great usage of plot lines and stuff like that. It's like, this is what I want from this show. This is Lucifer at its peak. And this is what I want to see more of. And I understand not all of it's going to be like this. But that also means when we do get episodes like this, it's going to be that much more exciting and impactful. This just worked on all levels. And the implications, the setups that it gives us are insane. How is this going to affect things going forward? I'm very excited. I'm very excited. But yeah, I like I said, I can't really think of much else to say because it's like, one, I got out what I really needed to get out, but also it's like I'm just so dumbstruck by how good this was. It was just a really fucking good episode. I was invested. And I'm just so excited to see what comes next and to where this leads. Sorry if I'm repeating myself as well. It's just... I'm just, again, dumbstruck by this. So, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Lucifer Season 2? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.